Hi, I'm Jim with Stuff Music, and I'm here today to do a demo of the Mesa Boogie Rectifier Badlander 50. The Mesa Boogie Rectifier Badlander 50 watt head, finished here in black Tolex with a metal grill. Mesa's newest iteration of their legendary rectifier series, the Badlander has everything from classic recto tone that you know to ultra-modern 21st century high gain sounds, with options that reflect the needs of today's gig-worthy amplifiers. In addition, the Badlander includes Mesa's cab clone technology. This reactive load box and IR cabinet simulator includes 8 dynamic and ribbon mic cabinet impulse responses, plus the ability to upload third-party IRs. On the front panel, from left to right, we first have the power on-off button, which allows you to select between bold and variac modes, the standby switch, then a mini toggle to switch between 50 and 20 watt modes, followed by the controls for the amp's 2 independent channels, each featuring master volume, presence, bass, middle, treble, gain, and a mini toggle for either clean, crunch, or high gain crush mode. Finally, on the front panel, you'll see a mini toggle to engage channel switching via the included foot switch, 1/4 inch input jack for said foot switch, and the single 1/4 inch instrument input jack. On the back panel, from left to right, you'll find the speaker out jacks for either a single 8 ohm cab or 2 4 ohm cabs, XLR out for the cab clone internal reactive speaker load, ground lift mini toggle, USB jack for loading speaker IRs, independent cab IR select knob for each channel, headphone jack, headphone level control, send and return for the 2 buffered effects loop, bias switch to easily go between the factory standard EL34s or to swap out for 2 6L6s, and finally the fuse. Last up, the Badlander 50 is a slimmed down version of its older counterparts, weighing in at only 36 pounds. Get yours today at instuffmusic.com, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like, leave a comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay, now we're back after the specs on the amp. Before we begin today, let's take a quick look at how we're recording. No cab today. We're just going straight out of the cab clone IR, because that's kind of the feature of this amp. You know, let's hear how all this great new onboard technology sounds. Probably, I would imagine it's what a lot of people are going to be curious about. So let's get into it. The amp has a lot of knobs and dials and switches like I talked about in the specs, but it's really not that complicated when you look at it. You know, in the power section, you have bold, which is real tight and aggressive. The variac gives you that classic sag. 2 channels, each one has master, presence, EQ, gain. You can set it to clean, crunch, and crush. So that's just, you know, a clean sound, rhythm sound, high gain sound. You can foot switch them, and then on the back, you can go through your 8-position rotary switch for all the onboard IRs. It comes loaded with 8, which we're going to take a sample of, and you can load on third-party IRs. And you can go between 50 watts and 20. So at the beginning I had it on 50, I'm going to keep it on 50. I'll let you hear it on 20 a little bit too. But let's take this Sir S-style guitar, kind of a classic S-style with a maple neck, and let's try to get some clean sounds out of this guy. Here it is, just straight in. Now here I'm using the 8th setting, which is the California Tweed, which is an amp Mesa came out with a couple years back. They have a couple nice Lone Star cabs, which are, I think, like a Celestion 90 style. So I want to put a little reverb in the effects loop with the Keeley Caverns. Now, as you can see, I have it kind of set up, just kind of a neutral setting. trying to get a little bit of a kind of a classic blackface tone going. You can push the gain up a little bit and get it to kind of push like this. So if I take, let me chill that reverb out a little bit. You can do this, kind of this thing. Okay, so let's take it to the crunch channel now. I'm going to keep it on this guitar. You can see right off the bat we get a lot of gain on tap here. Now, the presence control is pretty active in this amplifier, so when I pull that presence back, you really hear how it takes the upper part of the treble out pretty radically. Okay, now I'm going to manipulate my cab clone here. Going to go to setting 7. Let's go to the tape. Let's refer back to my notes and see what that is. This is a 112 Lone Star 23. So. Next one, let's go to setting 6. This is a 212 Lone Star. More boom and the low end, not as bright. I'm digging that. High gain time. Let's switch it back over to the ESP. Okay, now we're back. Let's listen to some high gain sounds. So I'm now on the second channel, which I have set to crush, and I'm going through cab setting number 1, which is a Mesa 412 cab. Have it pretty gained up. These are kind of the settings I was using in the beginning. So let's hear it. Nice and tight and controlled. Even though there's a good bit of gain going on. So let's take it over to the variac setting and hear how that changes the sound. So not as, it's like teeth is how I always kind of describe it. It just sags a little more. You can't hear it as much as you can feel it, for sure. I mean, the way it feels under your fingers is going to be more noticeable than I think the perceived sound. So let's take it back to the bold. Let's take it down to 20 watts. So obviously the volume's going to drop off. Let's compensate for that. I'll bring the master up a little bit just so you can hear it. That's definitely a little more compressed. Maybe a lot more. Not a ton. All right, let's go back to 50 and let's push the gain up a little bit and see what we got. Okay, let's walk through some of these cabinets. So we were listening to the 412. Let's go to the next one, which is the 412 traditional, setting number 2. Okay, setting number 2. Scoopier, maybe a little more compressed. You know, I think a lot of these are going to be how it feels under your fingers, not so much the difference in the sound. Let's go to setting number 3. Next one. So this is the 112 Recto cab, so it's boxier sounding. Sounds pretty authentic. Definitely a lot more controlled than the low end. You know, just a tighter, smaller sound. All right. Last one on the chain that we haven't tried. This is the, check my notes, the 112 Thiel. Is that how you pronounce it? Thiel, Captain? Thiel. T-H-I-E-L-E. Thiel color. Here's what it sounds like. It's a pretty mid-rangey. All right, hopefully that was a helpful sampling of the many sounds and features on this amp. That was the Mesa Boogie Rectifier Badlander 50.